Today, Rick is going to share with us that plan. Please help me in welcoming Rick Gividen.
Thank you for that introduction, Ken. For that warm-up. Oh my gosh, I'm splitting my side laughing already. Dwight, where are you at? Dwight, do you mind standing up? He's someone who's becoming... Now, I know what you're thinking. You're looking at Dwight and you're looking at me. And you're thinking, they must have played basketball in college. Right? It caused me to distill and create what I call the VIP plan for success. Now, right now, take a moment, turn to the person next to you, and introduce yourself and say, I'm a very important person. Go ahead. All right, VIPs. All right, don't let it go to your head now, okay? But you are VIPs, and you deserve a VIP plan for success. I saw a man on the corner. He was holding up a cardboard sign. That sign said, I'm visualizing a cheeseburger. How about you? I have a degree in psychology. I know how the brain works a little bit. And I know what visualizing does. He got my attention. So I went over to Westside Diner, got the cheeseburger, the soda, and an order of fries. And I came back. And as I started to get out of my car to go to Paul, in a move that looked like it was choreographed, an older woman was getting out of a truck with a McDonald's bag, and we almost bumped into each other as we walked over to Paul, who very graciously smiled and took the meals. I headed back to my office, and I was driving. It was like, man, do I realize what just happened? I just got schooled in the principles that I've been studying and researching for years in terms of achieving goals. Do we ask for help? Do we position ourselves for others to help you? You know, I came home one day early in our marriage, and as I walked in the door, my wife was coming out of the laundry room. She's obviously frustrated. I'm like, what's the matter? The dryer's not working. Won't turn on. You know, we were a young couple, and and I said, she headed towards the phone, started to pick up the phone. I said, whoa, wait. What are you doing? Gonna call the Sears repair guy to come fix the broken. Do you not see my flight suit? I'm a pilot. I fly one of the world's most advanced attack helicopters. I will fix the dryer. I start, maybe it's the timer. So I go borrow a friend's volt-o-meter. I didn't even know how to spell ohm at that time, but I borrow the volt-o-meter and I hook it up. And I'm looking at it, it's like, oh, well, it's not the timer. Well, within about 30 minutes, I had to drum out. I was looking at the innards of this dryer. I felt like a hog looking at a wristwatch, okay? And I looked down. Here's this big power terminal. How many volts is a dryer? 220, right? So I'm looking at this power terminal. And in slow motion, I see my screwdriver start to tumble down. And I'm like, whoa. And as it's tumbling, I'm thinking, one of the first rules is you're supposed to unplug the appliance. It's like, oh, I don't think I followed that first rule. The next thing I know, there were fireworks that eclipsed any 4th of July I had been at. Pretty soon I'm down, I'm looking at this molten mass. My screwdriver's welded to the power bar. And my wife's shaking her head and heading for the telephone. The repairman comes out, takes out the timer module, and he shakes it. Rattle, rattle, it's your timer module. But the volt-o-meter, I hooked it up. He's like, yeah, volt-o-meter won't pick this up. If you had asked, permanence. Now, the faintest ink is better than the strongest memory. The faintest ink is better than the strongest memory. When you write it down, it creates a permanence. In April of '84, I wrote a list. That's 1984, not 1784. Okay? Here are some of the goals that I had. Get my private pilot's license. Well, I became an attack helicopter pilot. Hold a civic office. I ran for civic office in a small community, hometown, where, I moved there, I was a newcomer, and I moved this little rural Snowflake, Arizona. It's not a joke, there really is a Snowflake, Arizona.
I've been there.
Yeah. My apologies. And I lived there, and so I ran for civic office. And I ran against people who were part of what we call name brand families. And guess what happened? I was defeated. But I now drive a Civic, a Honda Civic. Every day I go to work, I'm in a civic office. I went inside, got in the elevator, and went up to the enclosed observation deck. 1,122 feet above the earth. I got off the elevator, and after enjoying an amazing view of the Toronto landscape, I started to walk around the circular structure. I was not prepared for what I saw next. As I came around a corner, my jaw dropped. A glass floor. It was only 2.5 inches thick, which is not very thick, especially when I learned that 1 inch of that was the air between the layers. Fortunately, no one else was on the observation deck, so I gingerly approached the first of 4 consecutive panes. Each one 4 feet wide, 3.5 feet across. I started to step on the first pane. But wait, what if there was an unforeseen crack? I looked down. It was 1,122 feet to terra firma below. At that moment, I could think of exactly 1,122 reasons not to step on that glass. I summoned up all the courage I could, and I stepped on that glass. I put my full weight on it. I looked down. I took another step. And another. First pane. I continued. Second pane. Third pane. Fourth pane. I stepped off the glass. I walked back to the start, surveying my field of victory. At the precise moment I was feeling most proud, I heard a noise from around the corner. A 4-year-old boy came running and shouting, "Mom, here it is!" Suddenly, my accomplishment was significantly diminished. Then it hit me. He had not learned the fear of falling. He had not learned something that was holding him back.